Phoenix of the team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Chart Talk 89 in the building. Market's looking pretty good right now, so let's jump right into market outlook. What we got? So last week, past few weeks, we had a huge buying off support lows here in the S&P. We got a little dip Thursday, and it became a very important area. And what happened with that area? It got bought up, which led to this move we're seeing into Friday and into today, where stocks are looking very good. You know, you look at the S&P, strong day last few days. It was really, the NASDAQ came to play Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And then the small caps, IWM, trying to break a huge macro pattern here. So small caps could break out. That'd be great for, the stocks we like to trade, things like that. So overall, market's looking pretty good. We had a huge dip last week that got bought. It was very important that it got bought for the short-term action. And now we're seeing that short-term action push higher now. And so things have been moving really well these last few days. What you thinking?
So the only thing is, I sent you a chart of the biotechs. We had some big news with Biogen today. They had an Alzheimer's drug finally approved. So we saw biotechs breaking out. We saw, BIAB up almost 50% intraday. Eli Lilly up almost 13%. So just some really good news there. You tend to see that news tend to follow again. Stocks up 50% in one day, you might see some selling tomorrow, some people taking profits, but when that news comes out and those stocks start to get these big moves like we saw in biotech today, it's definitely a good reason to stick with those winners if you have them. So with that, Jake, you want to get into some of the top ideas for the week?
Ooh, I sure do.
All right, so I got a couple here. First one's is CMPS.
Nice. You saw on the chart there, I had it up. CMPS, really nice base. This is a magic mushroom stock. Just waiting for this to, break out of the base to touch it. I'm not interested in being early to this. I want to buy this through that 3650 area when it's ready. I don't want to mess around with this base inside the base, but when it's ready, I'll be ready to buy this thing.
All right, next up we have this Z-Scaler.
Ooh, that was pretty nice. I didn't see what it did today. It's nice action today. So and that's what we're seeing today. We're seeing more of the tech stocks, the high beta stocks, things like that. So the names we love to trade are finally getting some traction. It's been kind of a tough year in that regard for these names otherwise. But you see this big base Zscaler has. They gapped up on earnings, and now they're trying to throw an earnings flag in. I'd like more sideways action, but eventually through that 202 area, it looks really good.
Yeah, definitely with you on that one. Next up we have this ECOM.
Nice. Yeah, I like this one. This one kind of triggered today. Closed right at this 35 area, 25 area. If it can push up through that area, it looks good for another rate to run to 29, 30 area. Looks really good.
All right, next we have Williams-Sonoma, WSM.
Nice. Ooh,
holding the support off 160.
Yeah, so this technically triggered today. We were buying this one, 167.25-ish against these lows. So, a bunch of people are in it right now, but definitely looks good. You got to buy it against this 160 area. But looks great the way it has this great earnings flag for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, next we have this MGM, this little flag.
Oh,
up through 44 versus 42.
Yeah, just being outside the last couple weeks, and then the data they're bringing through about what casinos are doing right now with the reopening. Definitely like the casino stocks. This MGM looks great through 44.
All right, next up we have this TTEK that's basing here above 116.
Yeah, this one looks nice. 122, 123. Problem is it's a very thin name, so it can be difficult to trade. The way I usually take these setups is with smaller size, so I give more room, because my real risk is greater than what I really think it is, because if I get stopped out because the name's so thin, I'll probably get a lot of slippage on my order. So smaller size in this one when we take it, but 122, 123 looks great.
All right, next up we have Activision, ATVI. Put a nice little pivot low last week at 94.
Oh yeah, through this 98. Yep. A little sideways action would be nice. Inside day today? Yep, inside day today. So, it could be ready tomorrow. We'll see. Problem is, support is down here at 94. So, the more sideways we can get before the level only makes this setup better.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up we have SPSC.
Oh, yeah. Yep, another one. See, all these nice little bases at upper level bases look really nice. Through this 96 area, definitely looks nice. Another thin name, same as that T-Tech. So, similar strategy with that one.
All right, one more. We got this WAFG.
WFD?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is a slow mover. You know, the way we're seeing tech and things like that move, you know, I probably won't be too interested in this one. When we were seeing only, you know, value names and financial stocks moving well, this would be of a greater interest. But now that we're seeing all the tech names and things like that move really well, this one, you know, goes down the list a little bit. But still a good-looking setup through 34.
Okay. So I have two quick ones. First one is APH. Just got back up to that, probably, you know, basically all-time high, the 69, and sold off today. So it's, again, if we can kind of set up, the range has been between 64 and 69. So if we continue to consolidate inside this range, the next attempt through 69, I'll be very, would definitely be involved in that. And also this Zebra through this 520, little pivot low versus 490, 493-ish area. It's another one near all-time high, just bull flagging. So I'll be looking to take it up through 520 versus that, you know, 490-ish area.
Oh, yeah. That one looks good.
Yeah. All right, so with that, Jake, if you want to get into good or bad trade?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're dealing with this Playboy secondary after hours here. I'll tell you how I traded this thing. So here's the Playboy daily chart. Looks great. Trade of the week. Set up so beautifully. I'm building a position in it the last... since Thursday, we were buying that dip. Thursday... Oh, no. It was Wednesday I got involved. Added Thursday. Added Friday. Added today. So, I'll bring the chart up. So, you know, when I'm first initially buying this thing Wednesday... Or I guess I bought it Thursday the first time. Yeah, so Thursday was the entry. I added Friday on the dip down low. On this first entry, you know, I'm giving all this stock to $40. It gives me the dip opportunity. I buy that up. I'm only giving that stock to this. And then today, we had the momentum ads right at that 48 trigger. Bought that open, and I pretty much sold the ads all day. I sold some of the core, but I still have a fat core. We'll see what this secondary offering gives us. You see it's down at like 48 after hours. Nothing you can do about that. There's no way to know something like that's coming. So we'll see what that gives us. And what was it? Oh, and then Apple. Apple is like my bad trade, I guess you will. But I did well with getting back in. So Thursday, before we walked into the gap down, I was really focusing on Apple. I'll talk about the setup here. It was right here. So it has the inside day on the 200 day, and like the amount of times we've seen Apple where it's like, oh no, if it breaks the support level, it probably falls 30%, and then it holds the support level and it becomes a fucking leader in 2 months. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I've just seen that so many times in my career. So I load up on it right there, and then we walk into that gap down, and what I did really well was I got out of a big portion of my position near break even. I only lost like 20 cents or so in it, and then, you know, about with a third of my stock, I took the loss on it, and then then the dip gets bought up the next day. And that's when I have to get back in. You know, I have no choice to get back in, you see. So here, I talk about how I get out right here for a near break even, and then I take the full loss on the stock. But then it pops the next day, you know, and I get right back in because it's showing me what I need to see at support. I need to see that buying at support. It didn't break down harshly. You know, it's an area of support. It's not an exact number. So I bought some Friday. You know, I added some on the dip today. It looks really good. Market looks good. So, you know, a good and bad trade inside that Apple. But, yeah, that's really it for me. We'll see what this market brings.
Yeah. So the only one I got is this IT. I sent you over the chart if you want to pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, we've been talking about this IT last week. Super tight little earnings flag, 3% range. So I was buying up through this 236, 235 area last week, on Friday, on Thursday, kind of the last 3 days of the week because it just was super tight. And today it fails. Again, technically it didn't fail in its entirety. It's still well within this kind of earnings gap up, but for that tight little flag, that's kind of the risk I was willing to take in it. And I actually got hit out literally the dead low of the day. Like the low day was 228.58. I got pushed out 228.89. So 30 cents off the low of the day kind of pushed me out. This is still another one if it does get back up to that 236, be it a week or two or in a couple days, and I can trade it versus whatever this new pivot low is going to be. I'll definitely have to get back involved with it. Seems kind of similar like with Apple for you. Like you got pushed out and you had to kind of get back in. This IT seems like this might be something where, again, the trade didn't technically fail. I was keeping it very tight at my risk, and I have no problem taking that 3% loss and sets back up. Definitely get back in. But that was kind of pretty much the main one. The other swings have just still been in. Same as always, UPS, Snap, MMC, all those just holding and letting them do the heavy lifting. All right, so this is a quick one. The only thing we got left is book of the week.
Ooh, I got no book, but I gotta plug that podcast. I was listening to that. That was just so fire. It was the Drunken Miller on, what was it? Not Masters of Business. Oh, My First Million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a book, but I got a podcast, and I got more out of that podcast than any book I've gotten out of in the past couple of years.
Yeah,
so,
that was good. I listened to that one too.
So good.
That was a good one. Yeah.
So good. So the podcast called My First Million. It was the Stanley Drunken Miller episode. I don't know where it is. Down here, May 27th. You know, he's one of the greatest investors of our generation. You know, and he's in the all-time category. Only guy that we know of that went 30 for 30, meaning 30% returns for 30 straight years. That's including 2008. So don't fucking play with his name. But that's all I got. What do you got over there?
So I switched up a little bit. One of the members actually recommended this one. It's called the, I don't know how I pronounce it wrong, the Sestiline Prophecy. So it's basically this guy who kind of goes through, Peru, and he's looking for these 9 principles of how life should be lived. And a little bit more like, it's kind of like a little bit of a story as he's kind of getting chased by like the Peruvian government because they want to keep these like 9, philosophies like a secret. They kind of want them to get out. One of them was, that was kind of relevant was, what was the actual wording of it? The struggle for power, where it's, if you think of like a very negative person, a complainer, like they suck energy from you when you're talking with them, and then people that help you kind of fill you up and give you energy. And there's always that constant battle, with everyone, and of whether they're sucking energy from people or giving it. Again, really not really my cup of tea per se, but again, just a little bit of a different of a book that I probably would have never read. I'm sorry, I don't know which member who recommended it, but a couple little good lines in it. Definitely out of my wheelhouse for sure. But that's it.
I'm on the Amazon page for this book, and it says I purchased it on March 25th, 2019.
Really?
I guess it's up there.
You got it somewhere in your pile of books.
But no, that's my number one rule in life. You move towards things that give you energy, you move away from things that take away the energy. Very simple stuff.
Yeah. All right, so
and
I think
that's the Celestine Prophecy. We all good here?
I think we're good. Yeah.
All right, give us a like, question, throw some comments. Do this thing for you guys. So we'll catch you next week.